And hello again, indie aficionados. It is going to be another great year for indie games. I am super hyped for so many games that are coming out again, of course. Last year was excellent, amazing, and this year is going to be just as good, if not better. Because we have a few that didn't come out last year that will be coming out this year as well. So here's the ones I'm looking forward to in no particular order.
More about hunting and survival skills in a future update.
And it is Impact Winter, another survival apocalypse simulator, but I just can't get enough of them right now. This one changes it up a little bit by having you looking after a group. You have to go out, use your tools to bring back resources, find new crafting ingredients, all that kind of stuff. But there's also an interesting sort of risk-reward mechanic there around only having so much space, only having so much energy in order to explore each day. So you've really got to pick and choose where you're going to go, what you're going to do, and what you're going to bring back. And just having a group, it feels like it's going to be a more emotional situation. So check it out.
The interaction menu is a simple way of giving your team orders and checking on their stats. Here you'll be able to talk to them, utilize their skills, and assign roles. We'll talk more about the role system in a future update. With a simple button press, I'm able to choose an item for Maggie to build, and providing I have the right things in storage, she'll begin crafting the upgrade at her workbench.
UMBRA. This one is still looking for a little bit of its crowdfunding, but I do expect a 2016 release. It is another top-down hack and slash with an open world to explore, with many points of loot and lore to uncover. It seems like more of an exploration style of, Diablo clone, rather than more randomly generated dungeon crawler. It will hopefully have a revolutionary AI system, that they're calling it, that will track and form its own strategies to beat the player. I've seen a few of this in actions on their video, and it does look pretty interesting. They have a detailed customization system with, player creation and abilities, and a lot of other elements there too, like housing, and a strong crafting system there to get better. CHASM. I just can't get enough of 2D platformers, and this looks to take some of the best of it and, make it its own thing. It's a dungeon crawling game, several large maps to complete, and different difficulty settings, as well as areas to uncover that give you better skills that let you explore more of the map. It does have the customization of skills and gear and ability, a little bit RPG-like, but it does look rather pretty as well. Enter the GUNGEON. You gotta say that in one of those deep voices. GUNGEON. Another bullet hell roguelike. Yes, we've seen a lot of them, but they're so fun. And this one looks to ramp up that challenge basically to 11. Bullets flying everywhere, insanely fast action, crazy and difficult bosses and enemies to, beat. And just all these really different styles of guns to get through it and challenge yourself, and it looks really, really idiotic and insane. It looks like it has a Binding of Isaac style pickup and progression system, and a heap of different characters, each with their own style of play, and also story to uncover as you go. Looks great. Looking forward to it.
You're not supposed to see that yet. Spoiler alert.
And Jenny LECLUE. I kickstarted this one a long time ago now, and over the year I've seen a lot of its videos and just art projects coming out of Twitter, and it looks amazingly beautiful. I love the art style, I love the direction they're going with. The story looks really interesting, and I don't know, I just want more of these mystery detective style novels, like the old, picture find point and click games I used to play. Those games are fun, and we just don't see enough of them these days, and this looks to take the best of it and put it into a modern format. So I love the characters, I love what I've read of the story so far, and there is a free demo floating around as well, so I would check that out.
And don't forget
UNIVERSIM. I need some good God games occasionally. There just has been a lack of them lately, especially good ones, and UNIVERSIM looks to be my main hope for the year. It inspired by games like Spore. I can see that with how the early game progresses with your civilization growing from a person to a large conglomerate. But it looks to be focused more on a single civilization and making them grow rather than changing it up into different formats all the time. It focuses on one thing and does that really well. It looks to have a great progression system from early Stone Age times all the way through the modern age and even the space times. And it has interesting choices about how you progress and impact on your world and even the worlds around you as well. So yeah, check it out. Lovely.
For a time, I thought we would be friends. But that was not to be. They drained my resources for centuries, until I had nothing left to give. They endured my disasters and cured whatever diseases I could unleash.
Rogue Stormers! Need some fire in the background. This hat goes by a few other names. Diesel Stormers is one. But the big thing to take away from this, it's a 2D platformer shooter that looks incredibly fun, but also has online co-op, which is amazing. We need more online co-op games these days. There seems to be a lot more local co-op rather than online, and I know that's a development focus. It's much harder to do online these days, especially code-like and making it playable. And when you have a 2D platformer and a roguelike shooter, you want that to be really polished and optimal in its approach, and sometimes online screws with that a little bit, but I'm more than happy to check out another online roguelike bullet hell. This looks fun. I want to play it with people. Phew. We get a lot of indie artistic platformers lately, especially those trying to cash in on the, say, popularity of games like Limbo. You know, cough Rainworld. You see the same gameplay, basically the same aesthetic, but without any real charm that, you know, Limbo had. They don't understand the principles in making it their own thing. Yet Hue is definitely its own thing. It has a simple design, but what seems like an intricate mechanic built around changing the color of your surrounding to solve the puzzles and avoid traps. It has that same monochrome style, per se, but it changes it up with these colors, which makes it so much more interesting to look at.
So I left the university where I hid away the colored tools I had created, just in case I could return. I am writing this letter with colored ink. I pray you have found the ring and can read this. Yours lovingly, Mum.
Death's Gambit. I predict the theme of this year's indies will be, you know, Souls-like games. Games that are insanely challenging with difficult enemies and intricate combat mechanics, and I'm more than okay with that. This one comes published by the Adult Swim crew, so I'm not sure if that's indie, but it probably is. It's a 2D 16-bit platformer, and it looks amazing, both in its design and its art and its combat. I've seen so many little GIFs and videos floating around lately about this game, and it just looks amazing. Pinstripe, another amazing looking platformer. I like that they have their own style though, their own aesthetic and their own art. It makes these games stand out, you know. This game looks to focus on the feels though, the emotional journey that you have as a character, a strong story, interesting character and an interesting relationship with the world and the other characters around you. It looks to have, basic platforming mechanics, but I reckon it will be the story that will push this along. Now, we haven't really seen much progress from this game since its initial reveal over a year ago, so whether it does come out this year or maybe next year, I'm not sure, but what I have seen does look polished and interesting, so it's definitely on my list. And Necropolis, another Souls-like that was coming out this year, and I'm really looking forward to it. It has a weird polygonal 3D environment and characters that could have been a little underwhelming, but with the vibrant colours and atmosphere, it looks to create its own environment and style, and that is great. It looks to have the same focus on tight mechanics and difficult enemies and knowing who to avoid and how to avoid and what to use, and yeah, check out the clip. Ita? Something like that. Another Souls-like, but this time more with a top-down hack-and-slash approach with strong RPG mechanics. Pixel graphics, of course, because we need that nostalgia kick to keep us going. But out of the bunch, this one looks to be my favourite. The enemy design looks great, the combat looks fast and frenetic and excellent, and the boss design looks to be really challenging yet approachable. I like that about it. You can see definite boss abilities, and of course, where you go wrong. And I'm also a sucker for female protagonists right now, so yeah, it looks awesome. ADRIFT, but with a 1, because we're different. Now, this looks to be a game for the kind of person who watched Gravity and thought, that looks like fun. Seriously, what the fuck, dude? It's you stuck in the middle of a space station after a catastrophe and trying to survive. It looks to create an incredibly tense environment and surroundings, which should keep me in nervous sweats the whole time. It looks gorgeous. The design of the space station looks interesting, and looks to create some really great problem-solving and tense moments.
Lucy's recital is a note-perfect Beethoven Sonata No. 8. Every time I hear it, I think about how I never got to where she is now. I gave up my dream a long time ago. I can see her achieving and surpassing.
The SOLUS project, a neat little exploration game set in an alien world that's just inviting me to explore. It looks to have one of those alien worlds that just grabs your interest. You want to learn more, you want to explore more, you want to uncover the secrets here. There's gathering and there's also what looks like gathering and crafting, and also a deep and intricate story layered on top of this exploration that goes across these planets that you actively uncover as you go. It just looks like a really well put together exploration game.
I wonder what is behind this. Looks like some kind of mechanism.
The Witness, the apparent indie darling of so many gaming trade shows and magazines and websites and all that this year, and last year too. A cute looking mystery game set with a stylized yet colourful aesthetic. Not really sure much about this, but it looks to be really quite polished, really strong mechanics, but I don't know, some of these games that really put themselves out there like this just tend to underwhelm a little bit, so it's a tentative yes for now. CATACOMB Kids. This has been in early access for a bit now and is looking towards a full release in 2016. Now, I think this could possibly rival Spelunky for its crowd. It has wonderfully complex dungeons and character skills and a style of play that lends itself to, you know, speed running through. You have to be using your skills to beat the environment. You have to be strategically thinking about what to do next, where to go, how to use your environment to your advantage. And as the quote on the website says, it is a pretty neat game. Now, there are so many games that didn't come out last year that will be coming out in the year to come, and I'll just give them a quick, you know, glance over. Below, Pixel Adventure Game, Hyperlight Drifter, Pixel Hacks and Slash RPG, the next installment of Kentucky Route Zero, amazing. Night in the Woods, a platformer adventure with a really interesting aesthetic style, and Firewatch, the adventure game as a wilderness ranger. Now, that is by no means a complete list of the indie games I'm looking forward to in 2016, just probably my favourites and the ones I'm most looking forward to and have the most hope of succeeding and being amazing. And of course, I've probably missed a few as well, so if you're looking forward to an indie game I didn't say, leave a comment below. Thanks.